A very good evening, friends. I welcome you all to the daily newspaper analysis brought to you by the Shankar Academy. Today's date is 1st February 2024. Before entering our discussion, I have an important announcement to make. As we all know, CSAT is playing a major role in our preliminary examination. To be precise, it is acting as a roadblock for many of the potential aspirants to write mains. So to overcome this, the Shankar Academy is launching CSAT Plus initiative. This consists of 1 month revision program and there will be classes from morning 11 to 1:30 p.m. See, this program starts from 9th February 2024. So, interested aspirants can enroll in this program and enrich your preparation. Now, back to discussion. Here are the list of articles which we are going to discuss today. As you can see, we have collected important articles from 3 newspapers, that is Hindu, Indian Express and Business Standard. Now, let's get into discussion. Look at this news article. As we all know, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman is presenting her 6th budget today, which is an interim budget. See, it's a temporary budget which is made in the election year. So naturally, limited policy announcements are being expected in this budget. This is because major policy decisions are postponed until after the elections. So, next full-fledged budget is anticipated in July after the new government is formed. Now, in this analysis, let us see the important information which is being mentioned in the budget. Let us see the important information and data which are announced by our Finance Minister during her speech. Let us see them one by one. The Finance Minister claims that India has lifted 25 crore people out of poverty in the last decade based on the estimation of National Multidimensional Poverty Index by Niti Aayog. See, this index includes 12 indicators in health, education and standard of living, etc. Secondly, FM noted that government aims to reduce the fiscal deficit to below 4% of GDP by 2025-26, which will be a significant drop from 5.8% in 2023-24. Thirdly, she noted that gross and net borrowings for 2024-25 is expected to be lower than the current fiscal year. This could provide more credit for the private sector, facilitating the larger investments. Fourthly, gross borrowings for 24-25 is estimated at 14.13 lakh crores, with net borrowings at 11.75 lakh crores. Fifthly, no changes are expected in direct or indirect tax rates unlike the 2019-20 interim budget. But some expectations for startups may be announced, indicating a focus on supporting the entrepreneurship in the country. Moreover, the government saved 2.7 lakh crores by preventing leakages through the direct benefit transfers worth a total of 34 lakh crores through PM Jan Dhan accounts. Moreover, she mentioned that under the government's ENAM project, 1,361 mandis have been integrated, which benefited 1.8 crore farmers and accounting for trade volumes worth 3 lakh crores. Moreover, she announced that 2 crore more houses will be constructed under Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana Gramin. She also noted that through rooftop solarization scheme, 1 crore households will be enabled to obtain up to 300 units of free electricity every month. With this, the government aims to achieve net zero by 2070. Ministry of Finance projected that Indian economy is likely to grow at over 7% in the coming years and is expected to become the third largest economy in the world in the next 3 years, with a GDP of $5 trillion. See, opposition expected to criticize the government, claiming that the budget have not adequately addressed the country's challenges, especially for the vulnerable sections. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw the various announcements and the schemes which were announced by our Finance Minister in today's budget speech. So with this, let us conclude this discussion and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this news article. This news article talks about the addition of Longwood Solar Reserve Forest in Nilgiris and Karaiveti Bird Sanctuary in Ariyalur into the Ramsar site list. See, this makes Tamil Nadu the first state to have a highest number of Ramsar sites. This is the crux of the article. In this context, let us understand about Ramsar Convention in the prelims perspective. See, Ramsar Convention is an intergovernmental treaty. It provides a framework for the international cooperation for the conservation of wetland habitats. You can ask a question, what's a wetland? See, as per the convention, wetlands are the areas where the water is the primary factor which is controlling the environment. Not only it is controlling the environment, it is also controlling the associated plant and animal life. See, there are 5 major types of wetlands which includes the marine ones called coastal lagoons, rocky shores and coral reefs, estuaries including the deltas, tidal marshes, etc. See, lacustrines are the wetlands which is associated with the lakes. Fourthly, riverine wetlands, and finally palustrine wetlands. Okay, now we have seen the comprehensive definition of wetlands. Let us see the significance of it. See, wetlands plays a major role in ecosystem as it provides indispensable ecosystem services and act as a natural sponge that traps the surface water and slowly release them later on. So it is very important to conserve them. The signing of the Convention of Wetland took place in 1971 at the small Iranian town of Ramsar. Since then, the Convention of the Wetlands has been known as Ramsar Convention. See, it has two broader aims. Firstly, to halt the worldwide loss of wetlands, and secondly, to conserve the wetland through wise use and management of those which remain. See, to achieve this aim, it requires international cooperation, policy making, capacity building, and tech transfer. So, the convention imposes broader responsibilities on the contracting parties to conserve the wetlands throughout their territory to achieve the set goals. Moreover, it imposes additional obligations on the wetlands which are placed on the list of wetlands of international importance. See, wetlands deemed to be of international importance under the Ramsar Convention is technically called Ramsar sites. See, the list of Ramsar sites is given in this map. You can pause the video and go through it. Now back to discussion. Who designates a Ramsar site? See, the contracting party designates suitable wetlands within their territory for the inclusion in the list of Ramsar sites. And moreover, the contracting party have to comply with the obligations which are put forth by the convention to conserve the wetland. Know that UNESCO serves as a depository for this convention. The Secretariat or Bureau is an independent body administered by the IUCN and International Waterfowl and Wetland Research Bureau. See, the following are the criteria to designate a site as a Ramsar site. Please go through it. This is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, firstly we saw about the significance of wetland, and secondly we saw about the technicalities of Ramsar sites. With these learned points, let us conclude this discussion and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this article. Guys, as we all know about Paytm, right? We all would have used it. Recently, RBI has taken action against the Paytm Payment Bank. With this, the Paytm is now not allowed to accept deposits or top up in its various products from March 1. See, this decision is a result of an ongoing issues with the rule compliances and the consequence of various concerns which are raised by RBI. See, with this, the affected products includes customer accounts, prepaid instruments, wallets, FASTags and NCMC, that is National Common Mobility Card. See, the RBI has taken this step to address the persistent problem and ensure the proper adherence to regulations. See, this is the crux of the article. Taking cue from this article, we shall discuss about two important economic concepts of payment banks and small finance banks. Okay, firstly let us know about payment banks. See, there are two kinds of banking licenses that are being granted by Reserve Bank of India. They are Universal Banking License and Differentiated Banking License. Payment banks will come under differentiated banking license since it cannot offer all the services that a commercial bank usually offers. Note that a payment bank cannot lend. It can take deposits up to 1 lakh per account and it can issue a debit card but not credit cards. Okay, now what is the main aim of payment banks? See, the main objective of payment bank is to further the financial inclusion by providing small savings account and payment or remittance services to the migrant labor workforces, low-income households, small businesses and other unorganized sector entities. Moreover, the other functions include the payment bank can work as a business correspondent of another bank. That is, they can distribute simple financial products like mutual funds unit and insurance products. Okay, with this, now let us move on to other differentiated bank, that is small finance bank. See, SFB or small finance banks are a category of banks that are established to provide basic banking services and credit facilities to the underserved sections of population. That is, small business owners, micro and small industries, farmers and unorganized sector. Examples of SFB are Ujjivan Banks, Utkarsh Bank, Capitals SFB, etc. Now what is the main aim of SFB? Its objective is also to provide financial inclusion to certain segment of population who are often excluded from the traditional banking system. See, it helps them to have access to financial products such as small loans, savings, insurance, etc. Now we shall see the regulation of SFB. Note that they are regulated by RBI. All norms and regulations of RBI that are applicable to commercial banks, including the requirement of maintaining CRR SLR, will also be applicable to SFBs. Also, according to RBI, if an SFB wants to become a universal bank, it has to complete a satisfactory track record of performance for a minimum of 5 years. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw about two important differentiated banks, which are payment bank and small finance bank. With this information, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this article from Business Standards. This article talks about the unique health IDs or the Aayushman Bharat health accounts. As per the article, so far 529 million unique health IDs have been created in India. It also notes that Andhra Pradesh leads the list with 78% of the population being registered with Aayushman Bharat health account. See, this is the crux of the article. In this context, let us understand about Aayushman Bharat Digital Mission in exam perspective. See, National Digital Health Mission, now known as Aayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission, was launched as a pilot on 15th August 2020 in 6 union territories. Later, the national-wide rollout of this pilot projects was announced by our Prime Minister on 2021 with renaming of name as Aayushman Bharat Digital Mission or ABDM. See, it promotes digitalization of healthcare by creating an open, interoperable digital health ecosystem for the country. The National Health Authority under Ministry of Health and Family Affairs is the implementing agency for this mission. Now, let us look into the features of the mission. See, the first feature is the unique health ID or Aayushman Bharat health account. Similar to Aadhaar, ABHA ID is a unique 14-digit identification number which is being issued for every citizen who want to be enrolled under the mission. This ABA ID serves as a health account that contains the detail of every test, every disease, the doctors visited, the medicines which are being taken, and the diagnosis which are done for the particular person. In simple words, ABHA ID secures all medical records of a person in a digital locker and creates a unique health database for an individual. Remember, creating this account is free of cost and voluntary. It just helps us in health analysis and leading to a better planning, budgeting and implementation of various health programs. The second feature is with Healthcare Facilities and Professional Registry. See, the Healthcare Professionals Registry HPR is a comprehensive repository of all healthcare professionals who involve in delivering healthcare services. Know that this is for across both modern and traditional system of medicine. Such healthcare professionals must first register with HPR to access the details of the patients. Through this repository, the patients can have easy electronic access to medical professionals. On the other hand, this HFR will have records of all the country's health facilities. Ultimately, the scheme helps in bridging the existing gap among different stakeholders of the healthcare ecosystem through digital highways. Third important feature, Aayushman Bharat Digital Mission Sandbox. See, the sandbox is actually a framework which helps us to test whether a specific technology or product is compliant with the ADBM standards or not. This enables the organizations looking to join this health ecosystem to effectively connect with the building blocks or becoming a health information providers or users. These are all some of the features of ADBM or Aayushman Bharat Digital Mission. With this learned points, let us conclude this and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this news article. Yesterday, while addressing the 32nd Foundation Day of National Commission of Women, the Minister of Women and Child Development, Mrs. Smriti Irani, said that one-stop center has been established in over 700 districts across the country. She also noted that it helped nearly 8.3 lakh women who have faced violence. This is the crux of the article. In this context, let's understand about one-stop centers in the prelims perspective. See, OSC scheme or One-Stop Center scheme is a centrally sponsored scheme formulated by the Ministry of Women and Child Development. It is popularly known as SAKI. The scheme was launched in 1st April 2015. Since 22-23, the scheme is subsumed under Sambal subscheme of Mission Shakti. See, OSC provide a range of integrated service under one roof which includes police specialization, medical aid, legal aid and counseling, psychosocial counseling and temporary shelter to the women who are affected by violence or in distress. Its main objective is to provide support and assistance to the women who are getting affected by violence and facilitate them with psychological, medical and legal support. Remember, the scheme is set up under the Nirbhaya Fund and it will support all women who are affected by violence irrespective of caste, creed, religion, sexual orientation or marital status. Now, talking about the administration of the scheme, see, at the national level, Ministry of Women and Child Development would be responsible for the budgetary regulation and administration. At the state level, the Department of Women and Child Development will be responsible for the overall direction and implementation of the scheme. Okay, now let us see about the features of the scheme. See, under the scheme, OSCs will be established at the district level. They coordinate and converge with the other initiatives like women helplines, anti-human trafficking units, women help desks, special fast-track courts, district legal service authority, etc. to facilitate the access to justice for women. Apart from this, the OSCs will provide temporary shelter facility to the aggrieved woman. A woman affected by violence can access the OSC either by herself or through any person including any public-spirited citizen, public servant, relative, friend, NGO, etc. She can also access through Women Helpline which is getting integrated with police, ambulance and other emergency response helplines. The admissibility of any woman to the temporary shelter would be at the discretion of central administrator. A unique ID number will also be generated after collecting the required details. This number can be used for further reference as well. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw about the various futures of one-stop centers from prelims perspective. With this, let us conclude this discussion and take up the next news article for our analysis. Look at this news article. As we all know that Russia sees NATO as a potential threat. So, time and again, it will respond to the NATO's large-scale military drills. Russia stated on Wednesday that it is taking measures to address what it perceives as a threat from NATO. See, why it's telling all this? It is because the NATO is planning for an exercise called Steadfast Defender 24. See, this mega exercise involves 90,000 troops and it's the largest since the Cold War. See, this is the crux of the article. So, in this context, let us discuss in detail about NATO or North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Now, we shall start the discussion. The North Atlantic Treaty Organization or NATO is a transatlantic alliance. This alliance consists of like-minded North American and European countries. It's the world's largest peacetime military alliance. Now, let us have a brief discussion on the history of NATO. See, NATO was created in 1949 by the United States, Canada and several West European nations in order to provide collective security against the Soviet Union. Note that this NATO was the first peacetime military alliance that the US has entered outside the Western Hemisphere. After the destruction caused by Second World War, the European nations struggled to rebuild their economies. Also, they struggled to ensure their security. At that time, US thought that the Europe should become economically strong, rearmed and integrated because it's vital for US to prevent the communist expansion across the continent. So, all these factors led to the creation of NATO. So, to counter NATO, Soviet Union started an organization called Warsaw Treaty Organization or Warsaw Pact. Now, let us see the membership of NATO. See, it's open to any European states which can further the principles of NATO treaty. Currently, NATO has 30 members. Just go through this to know about the members of NATO. Note that all the decisions of NATO are taken by consensus. Thus, it's an expression of the collective will of all 30 member countries. Let us know about the purpose of NATO. Politically, NATO promotes democratic values and enables the members to consult and cooperate on defense and security related issues. It also enables to solve problems and build trust, and in the long run, it helps to prevent conflicts. Secondly, NATO utilizes military power to undertake crisis management operations when diplomatic efforts fail. Thus, under NATO's collective defense clause, its military aspects come into play. See, this is all regarding the discussion. In this discussion, we saw about NATO and its principles from the prelims perspective. This is all regarding the discussion. Now let us move on to the next part of our video, that is to discuss the preliminary practice questions. Today I am having 4 questions. I will solve 3 of them and 1 will be a quiz question for you to solve. Let us get into discussion. See the first question. Consider the following pairs. Here, a set of lakes or wetlands are being given and on the right side, their respective locations are given and we are asked to match. Let's see. First one, Sakya Sagar. See, it's located in Madhya Pradesh, which is given correctly. Second wetland, Pala wetlands. It is also given correctly as it is situated in Mizoram. Rudhusagar Lake is also situated in Tripura and Sastamkota Lake is also in Kerala. So all the 4 pairs are given correctly. So the correct option is option D. See the second question. What's the sole purpose of setting up the Small Finance Bank or SFB in India? See the 3 statements. First statement, to supply credit to the small business unit. See, this is correct as we have seen in our discussion. Second one, to supply credit to the small and marginal farmers. See, this is also correct as we have discussed in our discussion. Third one, to encourage young entrepreneurs to set up business in urban areas. See, the question given here is the sole purpose of setting up. Even though SFB may promote entrepreneurship, but this is not a sole purpose of this. So the correct option is option A. See the third question of the day. Which of the following are the benefits of Aayushman Bharat digital mission? See the first statement. It creates integration within the digital health ecosystem similar to the role played by UPI. See, this is correct as we have seen in our discussion. Second one, it provides choice to individuals to access both public and private health services. See, this is also correct. Third one, it ensures transparency in the pricing of services and accountability for the health services being rendered. See, this is also correct. So all the 3 are correct. So the correct option is option C. See, this is the quiz question of the day. I will post it in the community sections. Interested aspirants, go and solve it. See, the mains question based on today's discussion are being displayed here. Interested aspirants can write back to us. If you like today's video, like, comment and share it with your friends. For more updates regarding UPSC preparation, subscribe to Shankar IAS Academy. Thank you.